They say, like I said, play fire, you get burned. You live by the gun, you die by the gun. The actual is the actual.
Okay, so let me ask you, what do you think Mo3 biggest mistake was?
What do you mean? As far as his movements?
No, as far as him as a person. What do you knowing what you know about him right now? What do you think is if you was able to have spoke to him while he was alive, and you could have said something to him, what would you have told him?
I think if I was able to speak to Mo3, if he was alive, it would have been just like Vlad talking to him. It's too late. It's too late. He's a grown man. It's too late. Like I said, we can have the conversation on what coulda, shouldas, but it's too late. He's already in this shit. The only thing you could have did was to try to get yourself out of the environment. But it doesn't change who you are. Your thought process would be the same. Because
basically you're saying you would have came at him just like that?
You have to. What am I supposed to do? You're talking about somebody who's been going through things for their whole childhood life, their adult life. They see things from a different perspective. And now I'm going to come in and intervene on a grown man who's already out in the streets. Why do you think the cops just let this play out? This is my job. I get paid regardless if you guys live or not. Why am I intervening? Even by what Vlad said, it didn't change anything. If it did, he'd still be here. We'd be having a different conversation. So that's why when people say, oh no, I teach children, I try to help children at where they are because they're only learning from adults that don't know no better, right? Mm-hmm. Their parents, their children are recipients of these parents that don't have this shit together. And unfortunately, when you reproduce and your life is not stable and we just pass that on to our kids. And now the kids are trapped in a home that is unstable with shit going on, whatever it happens, by themselves, and they go to the streets, right? Now they're out in the streets and they're engaging with all of the world, the dirtiness of the world at night, because it ain't nothing fun happening out there, right? They're engaging in that, and now they're coming with their own perspective, and they turn into a grown man. It's too late for me to say, oh, Mo3, you know what? You should kind of change your lifestyle. Nigga, he already on the path. What the fuck am I going to say? So that intervention comes from within.
So you basically saying once you get too far gone,
there ain't no why? Because you do have to look over your head. You out here fucking with folks that's fucking with you. This is serious. Now you at war, my nigga. I can't pull you back out of war with just some words. Nigga, strap up. You got to see this shit to the end. That's just what it is. That's why I say the actual is the actual. We can create any story in between that we want to. But how you live your life is telltale on how you will live the rest of your life. Will we make it out here the right way?
So do you blame Miss Nicole or not blame her? Is Miss Nicole should be condemned for any of Mo3 sins?
I don't know, because this goes deeper. What was her situation? You get what I'm saying? She can only be the mother that she knows to be. Well, how far does this go? We were talking last night when we was watching something on TV about generational curses. Matter of fact, no. It was Hernandez Govan when he was talking about his daughter.
There
his
we go.
lifestyle.
Ooh, that was deep.
His lifestyle. That was deep. And that's the realest shit you can say.
You say who? Say it again.
I said Hernandez Govan. He did his interview and he was talking about his daughter and how people blamed him for his death daughter with the Dolph case. And he was saying, no, her death had nothing to do with the case, but the way it intertwines with him is because she watched how he lived. She emulated his lifestyle. He mentioned her mom's side of the family is church folks. They good folks. They got their shit together, right? She didn't take after them. She's in the hip hop. She in the clubs, flashing the jewelry and the money. That's the life that he lives. So when you're talking about generational curses, there you go. So when you come from a hoe mama, you're going to be a hoe and you're going to teach your daughter how to be a hoe. Is that rude to say? Yeah, in some cases, because mama may change. But at the end of the day, she couldn't teach you nothing that she didn't know. So grandma, great-grandmother, everybody is fucking responsible for why the generation is the way they are. It starts in the home, not outside. And when the children go outside, then you have even more of a problem because the home life is fucked up and now they got to deal with the streets. So I can't necessarily say it's her because we can only do what we know in the best way that we can. But the whole shit is fucked up. So when is anybody going to start realizing that and trying to fix it?
Nah, you said some shit though, and the key to it, that what you just said that fucked me up, was that even though you try not to live with their sins, it's deeper than what people think. Because when Goldman Hernandez said what he said, bro, every father, every mother got to think about that.
Right.
Every father, even me, I even think about that. Even the good ones.
Because what you do and how you
reflects on your kids.
I had emotions and feelings in my life before I had my children. That's why they say you got to work on yourself, get therapy, whatever you do, because you pass these along. You know what I'm saying? And I would be remiss to say, oh, I didn't pass any of my feelings on or my perspectives on to my kids. Why? That's exactly why I openly speak to my kids and I'm more in tune with their emotions. Because it's not just about shut up and do as I say and do what I do and all this shit. Well, how are you feeling? Because I'm working on myself every day. I'm one of those people. I try to reflect. I got bad habits. I got a loud mouth. I do the things I want, but I'm a good person. And I live by my heart. I don't disrespect people. I don't mistreat people. I treat my family right. So I try my best. But there's a lot of people that don't have that opportunity. There's a lot of kids that don't have that opportunity. So they're hateful. They're angry. They're lashing out. They want to fight. I need to know, what the fuck did I do that made you feel this way? Tell me now so we can fix it, because I'm in the process of fixing me as I grow. So I want to know, what did I say or have done that might be affecting you? Because I don't want your perspective to be the same as mine. People don't have that. They don't have the time, or they don't know how, or they don't want to touch on emotional things because it brings up other things that they have to deal with personally. So, I mean, it's a hard thing. So when I heard him say that, I did look at myself like, damn, you know what? Yeah, it's not always direct, but they could be watching something bad that you're doing that they're picking up on the most.
You want to know something? And I'm going to keep it real with you. I think it was harder for him to say that than it was for him to stay in trial.
Yes, it was. I feel like that. I felt that. You know why? Because that's some real. His daughter's gone.
Bro, I swear to God, I'm going to keep it real with you. I think it was harder for Goldman Hernandez to sit on camera and admit that his lifestyle may have caused his daughter death than it was for him to stand trial for his
life.
That
is a humbling experience to say to yourself. Because remember, people aren't their own therapists. We seek outward, or you don't. If you can't afford one, you don't feel comfortable talking to your mom and sisters, cousins, friends, right? So to inwardly be able to admit that, and not just to himself, regurgitate it on camera about himself, that takes a lot. That takes a lot. That's what I'm talking about when it comes to journey. We just watched the whole trial, but at the end of the day, that nigga can say, you know what? I didn't teach her that shit, but she watched me, and I was her first teacher. God gives you two, right? Female and masculine energy to teach you a whole lot of shit. And when you're not being taught right, it falls onto the parent. It does. Because you were gifted this life that you brought into the world. People just think it's cute clothes and birthday parties and baby showers and shit. You are responsible for a whole human life and making this person a productive and righteous person in society and in their own lives so that your generation can grow. And people are having children, and the children are going to jail. They're losing their life. They're wearing bonnets and waiting for welfare checks. And this generation goes on and on and on. That is a fucking curse. That is devastating. At one point, and I hate to bring it here, at one point, Black folks had some pride. And they tried to raise their children with that.
You say at one point, right?
Yeah, well, I say at one point. Because if you look at, I watch old movies. If you look, there was no shaking of ass. All of that jittering, I was watching movies from the 50s. All of that jittering and jumping up in the air, that was like twerking them. Because ladies didn't flip their ass up in the air, spread their legs, and get on the floor. They wore skirts. They were acting as ladies. If you were talking to a guy and your dad saw you, you was quick to move away because you didn't want him to approach you about talking to niggas. Like the quality and the thought process was completely different. It's a fucking free-for-all now. How are you supposed to stop this shit? People don't care about their kids.
So do you think we lost the quality of life?
People have lost themselves. So fuck the quality of life. If you don't know who you are and how you're supposed to act to teach children, there is no life. You can't sustain life on a crooked mind. look. Just look. You ain't got to take my word for it. Just look outside. Get on your Instagram and social media. Look at what women say. If you ain't got no money, I ain't sucking fucking. Like, what? Bitch, that's prostitution. It's always been prostitution. You bitches just glorify it. I just seen a video where these young kids is falling out, and he was at a Golden Corral in the line, and he was nodding off because he was on fentanyl. Nigga, what? Get your ass out of line into the street corner where you belong. Because those are drug addicts. Drug addicts. They need help. But it's all glorified and cute and funny because social media and people who like that type of shit glorify it. So the rest of us that don't live like that is like, what's happening? God, where you got me living? This is hell. Because ain't none of these people out here righteous. They all out here sucking and doing drugs. And having those offsprings of demons and putting them out in the street to deal with my kids that I'm trying to raise.
So remember when we was...
Don't play with me.
Hold up. So Kim, remember when we was talking the other day when I said I feel like we going backwards? Can you see what I mean when I say it feel like society is... We are less smarter now than we were in earlier civilizations. We are less mature now than we were in early civilizations. We don't like we kill, like we go at each other, kill more than we did ever probably in less civilization. I feel like we are going backwards. I feel like no, something is wrong.
It is. Society was a lot smarter. We're not going backwards because if we were going backwards, we'd be going to where they were, right?
But they were, but the reason, but where they were, they are starting to find out through technology that they had better forms of technology than us.
But that's not even, it doesn't even matter about the fucking technology.
Because they were flying.
It's about the brain that creates the technology. I just told you that your brain is your computer. You create it, manifest it, speak it out, or create it physically. That's what innovators are, inventors. That's what they do. They come up with an idea, they speak it out loud, write it on paper, and they start to create. It's no different from a rapper. It's no different from what I do in my life, from working and trying to manifest into my children, build a home, build a wealth, and all of the same things. Your brain is the computer. So they were a lot smarter. They were able to execute that. We are a dying breed. We're dying. So we're not as innovative as we think we are. So
what does that mean?
We are actually dying off. And it's not due to technology. It's really due to our lifestyle.
So wait, slow down because people don't understand.
No, I can't go any slower.
But I
can't go. Hold on. Not my problem. If you are, and I'm going to tell Gangsta Cap again, like I say it all the time. You shouldn't be in certain rooms and conversations that you cannot partake in because that means you are not ready for that class. If you are still sitting in D class, how the hell are you going to sit in a room with honor students? I only speak so that I can relate, but I don't take my brain all the way down there so that I can help you come on up. Catch me where I'm at and you go do your research. And if it resonates and sticks with you, that means it bit. And that means that you are well more advanced than those that are out there that are still in the D class. So what I'm saying is that we are a dying breed because we don't have the dignity or the wherewithal to use our brain to sustain our lives properly. That's why we are looking to technology to help our lives make it easier because we are getting stupid. We're dying off earlier. Our bodies are deteriorating by the food. It's a mass production of food because we forget when we're saying they're spraying fruits and all of this shit with Monsanto and the cows are pumped up with steroids and shit. Well, everybody's eating burgers around the entire world. Some form of beef. Everybody's eating. So animals are being slaughtered at a high rate. They're basically being slaughtered for you to eat. So that is chemically exchanged. Then you don't properly live your life right because we drink, smoke, do all types of other fucking drugs. And we already stupid because we done came from fucked up situations from our families. So we are dying off. So when you're worried about mass things like, you know, the epidemic and pandemic and all of that stuff, what you worried for? What are you worried for? You kill yourself every day. You go outside and breathe some goddamn exhaust because we got to get to work by 9 o'clock. Then you smoke a cigarette on the way there because you're stressed. And on your lunch break, have a drink. Like, so what are we talking about? I said, I like to talk about the conspiracies and all of that, but the actual is the actual. We are dying off. So the new civilization that comes in, those digging, all that digging that we surfacing up, that shit will still be here. It's standing over millions of fucking years. This technology will disappear as soon as your electronic can't get plugged in. So everybody that you think you are on social media will cease to exist if those towers go down. Because at one point, we didn't have none of that shit. So you just had to be who you were going to be. You couldn't pretend to be anybody.
And a lot of people pretend to be.
They pretend to be. And what do? You upload it. And and they played with you when they took away OnlyFans and Instagram and shit. And they're, oh my God, I cannot hit TikTok. I can't do it. Because who you are is your imagination. These people ain't really manifesting real lives. They're just showing you pictures. I watched a nigga pick up a Patron bottle out the garbage and take a picture. Nigga, please. So that people could like your picture. Everything is an imagination. If you can't put your shit into fruition, then you ain't got nothing going on. You are a part of the dying breed.
No, you ain't lying.
Oh, no, I thought okay, she did mention it. Yes, what? She did. Pretty Girl Jean. I thought that was missed too. She picked it up. See what I say? When it drops, it drops. She said, did y'all miss important part when she says, if she don't play with her and you trying to raise your kids around them goddamn demons. I feel that way. And I don't mean nothing to nobody. And you guys don't know me from a can of paint, so you don't know how I raised my kids. But I got a ton of history books in here. I was raised that way. I was raised with both my parents. I went to museums, libraries around the world. Like, I've done things. So I have that exposure. So I'm trying to teach my kids the right way because I need them. I want to be a great grandmother. I want to leave here and know that my job was complete. I don't give a fuck about nobody else. I want to that's my job. That's what God gave me. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to execute that to the best of my ability. So I'm trying to raise my kids right, regardless of what they experience, from outside talk back and shit like that. For the most part, my kids are good. They're in school. They get good grades. They do extracurriculars. They work. I don't have to chase them on the street. I ain't running boys out of my house. I ain't running girls out of my house. I don't have to look around the streets to find them. I don't have no drug addicts in my house. You feel me? They ain't in trouble with the cops. But yet, these kids that I'm raising, I got to send them out to the sister that don't get up to make sure that they got breakfast before they leave. I got to send them out to the sister who didn't come home last night, or the nigga that don't care about his kids. These children are going through shit and they go out to the schools and they put it back onto your kids because they got stress and struggles that they can't decipher. They got grown adult responsibilities that they can't manage. Adults can't manage this. So now my kids have to engage with you, and I have to have whole new type of conversations.
We are sending our kids out sometimes to school or being in the street with kids that's actually the adults in their household.
That's what we're talking about here. So what I'm saying, it's and the reason why.
I'm sitting here trying. I'm trying to tell my kid to listen to me, and he's like, nigga, I'm friend with a nigga that don't listen to nobody.
No, fuck that. You trying to tell your kid, don't fight this, dude. We handle things like this, but the nigga keep hitting it. Now you got to tell your kid to drop down to their fucking level because the high road don't work with everybody, right? Because what you're teaching your kid, not everybody else is.
Wait, hold on.
So now you have
that's
to
a good one. Wait, say that again because that's a good one. Say it because a lot of people do
right.
That.
No, you teach your kid on a high level on how to engage and interact with conflict, right? And you're trying to teach them the proper way. And then all of a sudden you got a back door and tell them, well, if they hit you, hit their ass back. And then, in all honesty, that's not really what you want to do. But survival here is what it is, right?
And a lot of people go through that because you got a lot of people that go to church, are good people, and say, "Don't put your hands on people. Don't do this. I don't teach you to do this." And then now your kid is going to school being disrespected, being talked to crazy, and being pushed. Right. And then now you have to change your whole view of your thought, but now your whole ideology changed.
Now you got to explain to your kids the other side because you gave them. Well, now you got to explain.
But now you got to change your ideology, right? Because that wasn't who you were,
right? And then but you know that. That's why you're so strong in your faith. So because you mentioned somebody in church, you know that you know that there's people out here, young and old, that just ain't got their shit together, and sometimes you got to check them, motherfucker. Period. But now you have to explain that to your child. Okay, although I taught you this way, you can't have nobody doing you any kind of way. You're going to have to get
But ain't that like the most hypocritical fuck up thing you got to go through?
But you got to survive. I keep trying to tell you, and if you understand, you a spiritual being having a physical experience. And in this physical
experience. You is good to say. It's easy to say.
It's not easy to say. No.
Pretty Jean just said, that's the hardest thing she go through right now.
Everybody.
Because everybody can't do it. I know, but everybody can't do that. It's hard for somebody to be like, yo, I don't want you to put your hands on nobody. I don't teach you to do this. I don't teach you to do that. But then every time you get a call, your son come home crying because somebody teasing him. They putting their hands on him. They bullying him. They doing this. And then you like, I don't teach my kid to do this. I don't want my kid to do that. I'm not going to tell him to do this.
Hence goes back to the conversation about the demon child. Remember, because you're teaching your child right. Now this person that's had these children that's coming to school engaging is doing the same thing that is done out on the fucking streets. It's not like I'm sending my child to compatible people. That's why people take their kids and send them to private school or Catholic school or schools where they have like-minded fucking kids. But in public schools, in schools in your community, you got to deal with the likes of fucking everybody. And these kids are coming from places where they're not happy. They're already hitting, spitting, cussing, acting up because their home life is not right. So as a kid, it's not like you get to say, oh, I'm going to just leave my home life. Nigga, you in that shit. Mama getting beat. There's no food. You living in fucking roaches and poverty. And you can't go anywhere because you're a kid. So when you come out and you see that clean kid that look happy all the time, you got an attitude. You hitting him, you fucking with him, you bullying him. So yeah, that's why I say is you keep your strength strong from within. Always know who you are. That's how I taught my kids. But don't take no shit from nobody. Because there's a lot of people out here that don't give a fuck about you and they'll take your life. They will take your life so that they can feel fucking better. So you better arm your kids spiritually and physically. That's what we not doing no fucking more. Because whatever you want to study, whatever you want to be spiritually involved with, it better be the fucking shield when you send your kids out into war. You see troops and even you see cops put on belts, bulletproof fucking vests. Military gets out there, grab all of their tactical equipment. And would you just take your fucking cell phone and purse?
Hold up, but they do teach that in the Bible. I remember, this is one of the things I remember from Bible study. What was it? How many shields? No, I'm saying, but it was a scripture in the Bible where it was I don't know if it was 7 or 9 shields of protection. Like the things that you're supposed to go out into the world with. Right. But I remember that. So the shit is like most people.
But you remember that, right?
I remember. That's one thing that I remember.
Something. And you'll be 41 years old, right? So it stuck with you. That means
no. I swear that one thing stuck with me. When I went to Bible, said they were talking about the shields of protection, and it was in the Bible. Right. They were talking about the protection in the Bible with the shields of protection.
Right. That's why people be like, oh yeah, I got Jesus and a gun. You know what I'm saying? Because you have to figure this shit out. You do not get to live in this physical world and not become unscathed by something, abuse, anything that's here. You know what I'm saying? I'm just a spiritual person, so that's my base. But you don't get to live in this world and not get touched by that. It's going to it's part of your journey. It's part of everybody's. You don't get to live life and nothing happen. There's no perfect life. There are treacherous things that happen here in the physical world that will affect you. But it's about how strong you are from within. That's why I say people are fakers and shakers. There's a whole lot of people out here that be saying, oh, I'm spiritually strong. And they be throwing up their God and shit. But you out here perpetrating. That shit's for real. Nigga, you're a liar. And God know you lying. And that's why you going through the shit you're going through. Period. Point blank, period. How you live your life is an effect of your heart and your brain. It's not an in-between. It's not a joke.
Say that again.
I said how you live your life is affected by your heart and your brain. Your brain tell you what to do. Your heart gives you the emotions.
Wait, and now slow down because that's deep. And I'm going to put that on a shirt. The way you live your life is affected by your heart and your brain. So them is the two key components to having a successful life.
They speak to each other. They speak to each other. That is a key component. And when they don't speak properly, just like your computer malfunctions and the shit don't work no more and you got to get a new one or reboot, your body is the same way. Bro, you know
how many niggas on the street don't give a fuck about their heart or their brain?
That's because
they don't learn nothing.
It's already crashed.
But I'm just thinking about, but this is why I'm saying that. Come here, I want to say that. I know, but this is why I said that. This is why I said that's so important. Because most crash outs don't have a heart for nobody. And they don't got a brain to even think about what the fuck they doing.
They've already been destroyed.
So when I hear,
has already hit.
So when I hear you say that the most important part is your heart and your fucking brain, that's crazy. And we know that because without your heart and your brain, the body don't function.
It does not function.
But we watch people every day on these streets function with no heart and no brain.
But they're not really functioning.
And then we wonder why they killing, why they stealing, why they stabbing, why they robbing.
No, that's for the person that doesn't understand. They're not functioning. They're malfunctioning. And those that are functioning can see a malfunction a mile away. They're not functioning. You can see these niggas. A crash out is a fucking crash, whether it's on your computer or your life. These niggas are not functioning properly. Why?
That's why they call it crash out, because it's a crash computer.
They are not functioning properly. They are on the streets doing shit that we know is not proper. It doesn't work with the formula and it deviates. And we know exactly how this looks. So us know that these people are not, they're not operating the way they should. It's not proper. They've been infected from whatever time period and it affects their life and that's how they live their life. So when niggas be like, oh, I just act like that.
So let me ask you, I got a question for you. I got a big question for you then. I got a big question for you. And this question is this going to hit home. This going to hit home to a lot of people. We watch Govan Hernandez say out of his own mouth that he cursed his daughter. He feel like he cursed his daughter. And everybody took it into different perspectives, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm going to ask you, did Mo3 curse his kids? Let me repeat the question for people that didn't hear it. We watched Govan Hernandez say, and I give him the utmost respect for saying it. He feel like he cursed his daughter to death by the way he lived his life and the things that he was brought up in, the way he watched his daughter wanted to be just like him. And this is why I say, this is why I was very adamant about Mo3 mothers of his children being careful about how they allow him to listen, how they allow them kids to listen to his music. This is why I'm very adamant about Mo3 mothers being careful about how they let, especially little Trey, be in them videos and what they say, consume that energy.
It's a transfer of energy. Mm-hmm. Like I said, music is a vibration. And although that's his dad, that vibration will always resonate with him, even more so because he's missing out on something he's never going to get back. You know what I'm saying? You can get a stepdaddy, but he's never going to get his dad back. His kids are never going to get their dad back. You know what I'm saying? So it is a transfer of energy. Their moms have to be conscious of that. And I'm pretty sure, I hope they are, because that's a serious thing. You always, in every legacy, you watch, especially in young men, and I say that because of ego and all the things that men go through growing up. You know what I'm saying? You take on a feeling of emotion and loss of your father and sometimes vengeance. We see it in other countries all the time. Legacies of people have gone to war in vengeance of their father, uncles, grandfathers, and such. And I'm not saying that he's going to turn to the streets, but that shit is going to be there. Mm. So you have
but you don't have to turn to the street to seek revenge.
Well, no, that's why I said it doesn't always have to be street, but the chip will be there. And when you see it, you'll know where it comes from. It only takes a moment. And you'll have it as a mom, you have to address it.
Like you don't have to be like bro, the nigga could be a fucking he could be a smart nigga, right. An A student, and grow up and be a lawyer and still kill. Right,
or go out and make one bad, have something allow him to make a decision that is so fluctuable that to do something bad.
But people are under the assumption that you will ever know. What? No, but I'm saying he could be a Dexter. No, I'm saying, bro, there's a lot of people that grow up bro, there's more people that get away from with murder that are more constructive with their murders and kill people than there are people that go out there and be street niggas. So what I'm saying is he could be a smart kid, be smart, be a little Trey, grow up and be smart, and still take niggas out, and y'all never know he taking niggas out.
But see, that's true too, because your emotions, they surface differently. Right, they surface differently. I watch a lot of Tubi, right? I watched a Tubi movie. What the hell is it? I think it's called Vengeance. It might be called Vengeance. And it's two brothers in there, and they grew up in a home where their mom was abused. And I think one of the brothers, the older brother, had to take out the father, right? Now, these two are grown men at this time, right? They are kidnapping women in the park and offing them and putting their bodies in acid to get rid of them. Nothing special, right? But they are hell-bent. The whole thing is them when they were younger. Oh, I took care of you. You never did anything. You got me. I was beaten. And everything goes back to them. I always watched over you. That goes back to their childhood. Now, that seems like you would think, oh, maybe they'd be some street niggas, right? No, they out waiting to catch women at the park.
So and they probably had good jobs.
Right, they did. They were business owners. That's why they were being investigated, because these niggas had cover-ups. Nobody knew. There was no cameras here. These niggas is covering shit up. So you don't know how emotions...
The B2K killer was what?
Right. Emotions surface in so many different
ways.
But
the B2K killer was what? The B2K killer was what? The B2K killer was what?
I don't remember.
He was a preacher.
Was he?
Yes, he was a preacher. Your everyday preacher. The B2K killer was a preacher.
I don't know.
Yeah, you can look it up. So this is what I'm saying. You never. So just be a killer come in all shapes and sizes. We know. Uh-huh. They could be your teacher. They could be your. But what I'm saying is that it's what the energy you feed them, because they get smarter. We know they get smarter as life goes. So we get smarter and more experience. So killers are not necessarily. My nigga Mo3 was a trained killer. His son might be more smarter and even better. You see what I'm saying? He might be the smartest killer around. And he might be your teacher. He might be your mayor. But guess what? Still know how to step in these streets. And you never know it. That's why you got to be careful what you feed these niggas, what you give them. And all I'm saying is I've always been a person that if you already know this kid died, like you know I was killed from bloodshed in these streets and rapping. Don't have my son listening to me and listening to what I want him to do, because Mo3 saying his music, what he want his son to do, what he said. Nigga, if you kill me right now, my son gonna go ahead and kill something and bury something. My nephew and my son gonna bury something. You think his son not listening to that?
That's what I be saying. People use that lightly, generational curse, quote unquote. So it's so true. It's just a transference of energy.
You think Trey ain't listened to that part of the song and said and repeating it? Yeah, my son gonna bury something. My son gonna bury something. It's automatic, and they not doing it. And guess what? Guess what the adults is doing? They playing it when he there, because guess what? They want him to hear the part when Mo3 said his name. Think about what I'm saying. They want him to hear the part when hey Trey, listen to your daddy when he said your name. Mm-hmm. My nephew and my son gonna bury some. And Mo3 made it his duty. See, he was a very smart man, just like Tupac. That's why I say he was smart like Tupac. He reminded me of Tupac, but he could sing. Know why he was smart like Tupac? Then Mo3 made it his duty to put certain shit in his song. He made it his duty to always put Trey in his song. He always made it his duty to put that metaphor, to make it so where you would hear his kids, hear his sons. Almost like when I did that song, I Know I'm Gonna Die, and like I was talking to Keith Jr. He made sure to do that. He ain't no dummy. Just like he pulled the Tupac when Tupac did the I Ain't Mad at You, what Mo3 did. He did the when he died on the highway. He predicted his own death. But guess what? That's how you know Rainwater was involved. This is how I know Rainwater was involved. What is the odds that Mo3 is going to die on the highway the same way that his video was in real life? What's the odds of that? Ain't no coincidence of that. Y'all got to put shit like that together, man. That ain't no coincidence. You have to actually put shit like that together, man. Think about that. And you know Rainwater played a part. Rainwater played a part in the video, right? He played a part in the video. So think about it. What is the odds that Mo3 dying on the highway exactly how his video was? Remember in the beginning of the video, the girl looking at him in the casket, her husband calling, she looking at him on the table when he come into the obituary thing to the room, and she said, oh, just another rapper. He died on the highway in his city. Yeah, in the morgue. He died on the highway in his city. What is the odds of that? That's how you know the higher ups involved. That's what I'm saying. Pay attention, my nigga. This is how you know the higher ups is involved. You mean to tell me this nigga died exactly how y'all did how the nigga video was? Get the fuck out of here. You niggas wanted to make a point.
That was a manifestation.
Yeah, that's how they did it.
So which higher ups you talking about? The higher ups?
No.
Or the higher?
See, God can say one thing, but then it's certain people that can make it happen. You see what I'm saying? This is what people don't understand. It's God can say one thing, but it's certain people that can look at it and say, "Ooh, great idea,
just
my
like
nigga."
Jesus was the son of God, the devil got sons too. Okay?
Ooh.
Okay? And that's what people need to stop playing around.
Ooh, say that
We're
again.
playing with
no.
higher
What do you mean by that?
I said just like God had a son, so did the devil. So when I say, oh, I'm trying to work on my kids and I'm trying to be God-like and I got to send them out with devilish children, this is two sides of this. That is your duality. That's what we fight every day. Some people are losing the battle. You get what I'm saying? We out here. For real, for real. Guns are toting. Trying to save our physical lives. So what are we saying? What are we saying? Because he done told you, because you know Allah. You done spoke to your God. Are you listening? That's what it is. Are we listening? Mm-hmm. So when you're not listening, then the devil got you. So which higher ups are we talking about? Because that destiny was already there. It's either or.
But the thing is, we know Mo3 was listening because he told you in his video. Like he literally did a video where he was on the floor. See, people probably didn't notice it. A lot of people see Mo3 was Muslim. His dad was a Moor. See, this is what's tricky about Mo3 that people don't know. His name was Melvin Noble. Where did Noble name come from? Okay. We do a lot of research. We know this. Where did Noble come from?
Right.
Noble Ali Drew. Noble Ali Drew was what? A Moor. So his father was a Moor, but he went to jail, became a Muslim. Most people that go to jail become Muslims. His mom is a Christian, devoted Christian. So Miss Noble is a Christian, but she married a Moor who was his father, Melvin Noble Sr. They not together no more, but she still got his name. But he was a Moor. Okay. Science Temple of Moor. Mo3 went to prison. He became a devoted Muslim. So now he got the background of a Moor and he got the background of a Muslim. So you dealing with a nigga that's hard to deal with. He got Muslim ideology. He got Moorish Science Temple ideology. He got Christian ideology. You see what I'm saying? You see how the ideology?
Yeah, but I mean, so what you're telling me is we're still listening to what people say they are, and them not showing us who they are. Because all you just gave me were labels. Those are all labels for different religions. You can say,
well, Moorish Temple, that's not religion.
I'm just saying, it's a label. It is a name given to a classification of people who have a common ideology, right? Those are labels. So what you're saying is what people say they are is more important than who they show us they are. Because if you were true devout, we would see it in your lifestyle and how you live. That's why I say we be out here playing with religion and our spirituality faking and shaking. We say we Christian, but we don't live Christian. We say we Muslim, but we don't do nothing Muslim-like. We say we are part of this classification, but we don't live that way. So are we who we say we are? Because that only shows in your actions. So he can say anything he wants to. We don't know him. So he's giving it to us, but he's saying that. Was he living his life? And I don't know. Was he living his life as a devout Muslim?
I don't. Well, of course not. Because
oh, right then. So then.
Well, yeah, of course not. Our people.
So that's what it is. So then, what he said, I don't care what you put in music videos, because that's all an entertainment as well. That I'm giving you. I'm telling you a story.
Yeah, because Muslims stand for peace, peace upon to others.
Period.
So and Muslims preach peace, but we have to say the same thing for Little Durk.
See, I did. I said it, and you argued with me. I said the same thing about Little Durk.
Because even like if you are a true devout Muslim, you don't want to see another brother hurt.
And I don't say that we all practice our faith to 100%. But there's a damn difference between me celebrating my religion and what these niggas is telling us that they are. Because remember, they're just saying it, and it's all fancy. Everybody in the industry all wants to raise their hand style out. They all want to rug. They all want to wear a turban. But do they really live their life? Oh, besides having the multiple women that they say behind religion, are you really treating your children with peace? Are you creating a peaceful home for your family? No. So don't tell me anything. That's why I don't believe shit people say. I watch what you do. And what you do is telling of the type of person that you are.
It's well, then I guess that basically, so you basically saying Mo3 was still putting on the front.
He was still putting on the front. Why do you know? Because we watched the video when he's talking to Mo3 and Osama. This is not a figment of our imagination. You are physically watching this man battle with himself, and he put it in the form of entertainment. Why? Because he's an artist. So he's telling you his struggles. It is hard. Mo3 was a Muslim. Osama won. There's a difference.
And you can't have them battles if
you
you're a devoted Muslim.
That's why I say you have to pick a side. Criminals go into the prison system, they change their life, they come out, become Muslim, and they try to live their life. They don't want to go back to prison. They know the strain and heartache they put on themselves and their family. They know it's not conducive to a lifestyle for generations to come. They change their life. Niggas be both sides. So I pray, but no. The honesty, and that's part of your decision. Your battle in life, you got to pick one. And it don't even have to be religion. It could just be a life of righteousness, because I don't put religion on everybody. There's people got a lot of stuff going on. I don't press religion on people, but there's our people that live righteously, and they don't concede to a certain religion. But you have to be on which side are you going to choose?
Righteous, good or bad. It's basically good or evil. Good or evil. Point blank.
There's no way out.
You can't say I'm good and then dance with the devil.
Devil, you can't.
And Mo3 said in another song, he said, I dance with the devil.
So there you go.
He said it. I dance with the devil. JB, hit the link.
That's why I do not fool with people trying to tell me nothing about no religion. Mind your business. I don't discuss religion with people because it's personal to you. And a lot of people don't have the perspective that it should be. So you can't just say, I follow this and this is what you should know.
So now I'm asking you as a wife, because you a wife, I've been with you since 1999. Do you think his women that was with him, his baby mothers, played a part and could have prevented a lot of this?
No, I don't. He was already in his ways. No, why do you think he had so many baby mamas? He felt like he had options. He wasn't trying to take a wife. Did he leave this planet with a wife and a ring on his finger? Was he trying to take on the likes of a woman that would be his counterpart and listen to in life?
I don't know. That's one thing. Right. No, hold up. You asked me a question. That's one thing I never asked. Did Mo3 ever get engaged to any of his baby mothers? JB?
Oh, I don't know about all that.
See, that's a question I need to ask.
Were they girlfriends and things happen?
That's a question. I never asked that. I don't think anybody has asked that. Was Mo3 really ever trying to start a life with any of them women? Was he ever trying to get engaged? Because he had a lot of money. Did he buy an engagement ring for anybody? That's a good question.
So what would be the influence? Not much. We just kicking it. Like you, love you.
Damn, I never asked that. I never even thought about that, because when niggas really want to fuck with you, they will buy you a ring, even if it's just to make you think it. I know niggas in the hood that'll buy you a ring for bullshit.
That's not true. What you mean? Just to make you think.
Bro, it's niggas that'll buy you a ring just for bullshit,
so
my
then
nigga.
That is what it is.
That's what I'm saying. But I'm saying if he didn't even buy you a ring on some bullshit, think about it, it's niggas that look, JB, am I lying? It's niggas that fuck with women just so he could keep the pussy, buy you a ring and act like he fucking with you.
Yeah, but then that's not what we're talking about.
But my whole point is the matter. But I know it's fucked up. But what I'm saying, did the nigga even buy anything? Did the nigga buy a woman a ring and say, "Yo, I got you. You mine. You belong to me. I'm gonna make sure you straight. You ain't got no worries." That's all I'm saying. I thought that, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying that's what niggas do, right? JB, what up? Talk to me,
Man.
No.
But I know she was speaking facts. But the thing I can agree with her with, it ain't about religion. It's about when you start loving yourself, respecting yourself, you won't allow for yourself to even be taken away from the family that God blessed you with.
Right.
That's why I say a lot of these cats jump in church on Sunday, say they Christians, Muslims, all the stuff that is man-made. But on the cool, but we come from, and our people themselves, we never had a religion. A child could be born and just be obedience from the mother and the father and follow suit of what they do. What it is everybody is lost. For 5 years, people so invested in Mo3, they're not even invested in themselves. And half of them will say they claim to be Muslim just because Mo3 was a Muslim. Not because it's within who they are. They just want to belong to something.
Right.
Nah, you ain't never lied about that.
You don't need no pastor on Sunday to tell you anything that belongs within you.
And the crazy thing about it is, let's be real. Have anybody ever seen Mo3 in the message here?
I think Mo3 was just trying to find something. It was someone close to him, his cousin, that turned him on to something. Just like if I turned you on to selling weed, if I turn you on to selling pills, if I selling you on to turning
so it definitely was something new because I never seen him in the message here. I never seen him. Now I seen him in the video with the rug praying. He did know how to pray. I give him that, so I know he prayed before. I watched him pray. My dad is a devout Muslim. My dad named Kabir. Been Muslim all his life. I come from a Muslim community. I've been in messages. I got pictures with me in full Muslim uniforms, everything. So, am I Muslim now? No.
But a Muslim is someone that a Muslim basically don't even need to be called a Muslim. It's just someone with self-discipline.
But
when you discipline within yourself.
But you also practice, bro. A devoted Muslim pray 5 times a day. A devoted Muslim go to the masjid.
But it's also when you praying 5 times a day, you get up off your knees. You can't get up off your knees off the first prayer and then become a gangster. Right. Then get back on your knees the second time out of the 5. And then when you come up off your knees the second time, when you get up off your knees, now you're a player. Yeah, then when you get down on your knees the third time, you come up, you're a killer. You can't be all those. It's somebody that's doing exactly what you're doing within the same 24 hours.
Exactly. So
every time they go.
You're absolutely right. So let me ask you a question. And I asked my wife this earlier. So do you think that was Mo3's hardest thing that he was dealing with?
I mean, I can't really say that either because I believe it was more than just, you could be dealing with more than just a religion. You could be dealing with just life and in this world trying to find yourself within this world. And until we find ourselves, we really don't know who we are. That's why you don't know where you're going.
You saying religion, when I don't look at it as just religion. I always tell people when someone find who they are, they find themselves. Know thyself. That's your religion. Right.
And then when you know thyself, Keith, you don't need to pray 5 times a day. I feel like this. If
Listen,
I,
this is what I'm saying. It's all what he found. That's what he found. Him thyself, learning himself was him. He said, I'm going to Allah. Him knowing himself, he was going to pray 5 times a day, but he wasn't devoted. The issue was that, and the conflict between them. See, this is what people don't understand. Mo3 had a bigger conflict with Allah than he had with the streets.
yeah, but at the same time, Keith,
Exactly. That's
a
what I'm trying to make
person
you
can talk.
understand. Bro, I'm telling you, he had a bigger conflict with Allah than he had with the streets. And the reason that was because the streets was holding him back from doing everything he wanted to be.
But my thing is, it could be somebody named Jerry that ain't Muslim. He could be a Pentecostal Christian. Okay, if Jerry don't know himself,
Yeah,
he
same thing.
don't have to be called a Christian, a Muslim, a Baptist.
Hey, Jay, I'm not saying it depends on what religion he is. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying he's Muslim because that's what he was. It could be any. You could be Christian. You could be, like you said, it could be anything. I'm just saying Muslim because that's what Mo3 practiced. That's what he was.
During that season, though.
Saying Christian.
During that season, because he started off as a Christian singing in the choir with his mama and his brother. His brother today is a rapper, and his mama shit done been to jail. So it's like it don't matter.
But he started off confused because his dad was a more.
Yeah, but I mean, all them is going back to my original thing. You can break down all these things saying the mama a Christian, the daddy a Moor, the cousin is a Muslim. All them are the same thing. It's about who has self-discipline to sustain who you are as an individual, not as a religion. You have to have an intimate relationship within yourself, because within yourself is where the God is where whatever you want to claim, Allah, Jesus, God, you can break down all them names.
Okay.
But if you're not disciplined to be submissive to yourself, to be able to stand fast to yourself, take away them names. What is thyself doing to thyself to represent thyself?
But guess what? Is it hard to say that Mo3 was communicating with too many gods?
But there's only one God.
No, there's not. There's not.
Man.
Why? No, bro, there's not one God. Anybody will tell you, you got people that say Allah's God. You got people that say there's more than one God. Everybody don't believe in the same God.
I'm gonna break it down to you. Your name is Keith. Your name is Keith. No, look.
Hold on. Let me speak. I gave you the floor. I'm just keeping it real. Everybody don't believe in the same God. You got people that are Muslim that'll look at you and tell you that you tell them that Christian God ain't their God. Just like certain Christians tell you that Allah God ain't their God. You got people that's Buddhism that say their God is their God. Go ahead, Kimmy.
Yeah, no, those are classic. I told you before, those are just names that were given by man to define your spirituality. That's all that is. Like he said, the God is within you. And if that righteousness lives within, then you don't have to wear a badge that says I'm Christian. You ain't got to wear one that says I'm Muslim or Jehovah's Witness. It's already there. You see how I live. That's just like I don't have to show you I'm rich by showing you the money I have in my pocket. You can see how I share my wealth, how I live. It's the same thing. How you are internally is the only God that you need to listen to. And you're hoping it's on the righteous side.
But do everybody live like that?
No, and that's
why there's only so many that will make it after whatever you did.
But my thing is just like y'all giving it the real, just like you and Kimmy is giving it the real. I'm not saying you and Kimmy are wrong. Y'all absolutely right. It should be like that. But I have to give it from the real point of view. And there's people out there that'll look at you like you crazy. We watch the videos. When we see the videos when a Jewish come to the dude and he talking and the Christian comes to the dude and he talking and he said, no, your God ain't my God.
Right. But you know what about that? That's their problem. They're trying to figure it out.
Because check this out, Keith.
Because if words still mean something to them, then they don't really know what we're talking about. Like I said, you get in the D class and then try to understand honors. That means if y'all are out there at the masses worried about the labels of what God is, then you're missing the key point.
Yeah, because my thing is, I could take one person from each religion and can tell you all of them will be the same person if they truthfully are being faithful to themselves. I could take someone that believes in Buddha. If they believe and they shouldn't kill, steal, destroy. I could take a Christian that believes if they shouldn't steal, kill, and destroy. I could take a Muslim. They all in 24 hours are going to walk the same life. Because no matter what they claim they believe in, they God is better than the other God, they walk will speak better than whatever their mouth would say.
Well, that's
They're,
not true. Well, hold up. Let me tell you where that's not true. Because in certain religions, certain gods feel like you don't get to repent. In
that's not
Christianity,
the point.
you
You
allow
living
people.
a life right now to where you not doing anything to repent. When you walking faithfully and you doing
No
right,
one lives a righteous life.
No, what I'm saying is we don't
no,
all 100% live a righteous life. We don't have a religion or whatever we're living to the 100%. We're all a work in progress. What we're saying is that it doesn't matter what category you place yourself in. How you live, it will reflect in how you show people who you truly are. And it doesn't package up into anything that man has put you into. Remember, these
right,
are
because
as a namer.
if I can find hold on right quick, if I find a religion that allow for me not to be faithful and true to myself, that is going to be the religion that I will join. If I know that I can keep messing up and then keep going back saying, forgive me, forgive me. If I know that this religion don't mind if I could kill, steal, or whatever, that's what I'm going to, because I'm never truly dedicating myself to being faithful to myself.
Mm.
So people play religion. People find a religion that will. Oh man, you can have 3, 4, 5 wives. That's because I always wanted to be a hoe. I never wanted to be faithful. I never wanted to stop messing with hoes. I just wanted to find something that I can claim that I'm in. So as I do the wrong, it will satisfy me to say that I'm doing right. This stuff we do is play games within ourselves, and we need to find other people that agree with us with our wrongdoing. And then that's what becomes basically a religion. When you can find other people that want to decide not to be faithful to themselves too, then all of us, yeah, we belong together because all of us belong to a place that we will never get in once this life is over with. That's
Right.
why only a few will make it into the throne and to the foot of the original God. Because the whole 24 hours of a day, you kept trying to play games. You kept trying to put your hustle down on hustling yourself away from your eternal life. So once your life is over with and you done rolled the craps, and God say, yeah, here I am. But listen, depart from me because you never really wanted to fuck with me. I gave you every day to wake up, to get it right, to come fuck with me. But you chose the streets. You chose your reputation. You chose to want to let people see you in this limelight. That's not of me. So how the hell can you spend eternity with me when you don't even know who I am? You never tried to get close to me, but you think for the rest of your life, for eternity, you now can flip on the script and be something that you never wanted to be part of? That shit don't even make sense. You
No.
was telling your partners that I'm not even real, that I'm not this and I'm not that. And then you found another partner that agreed with you, and y'all niggas became who by y'all partners, homeboys. So when both of y'all time is over with, I'm gonna tell both of y'all the same damn thing. Depart from me because you told other people it wasn't even no me.
Mm-hmm.
So now you think you could die and be up here with me, and you don't even know how to worship me.
So let me ask you this: Are we praying to the correct God? Because before Christ, they was praying to horse
But
and.
that has nothing to do with anything. It doesn't
It's
matter.
not a real God. The God is you.
It's not
When
who
you
you
be faithful to you
think
and you
things
want to be faithful to whatever God, okay, right now I answer your question
are.
That's
and
the
I
question.
say,
No,
if I say this is the God,
I know.
okay, if that's the God, but you ain't gonna be faithful to it,
But
it
listen,
don't matter if we
I'm
playing